You may now take your seats. Morning. We are gathered here today to commemorate the 9th-year anniversary of Super Typhoon Yolanda. To formally begin with our program, we call on Tacloban City Mayor, Honorable Alfred Romualdez, to deliver his welcome remarks.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Mobilized the recovery efforts of not just the locals, our regional neighbors, as well as our international community as represented now by our diplomatic corps. But it is really a true and befitting situation that we have here now. One who really led us and gave us hope during those times of seeming desperation. That he never left us. And that's why we can see why over 31 million people and now the 110 million people, Filipino people that he leads, are supporting him. Because his heart, his compassion is with the Filipino. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and a pleasure to introduce to you the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you, Alfred Romualdez, who for kami ni Martin for 3 days, starting on the Saturday, Saturday nag-usap pa tayo, Friday. Saturday nag-usap pa tayo maaga, di ba, mga 6 o'clock. And then for Saturday, after that, we did not hear from the mayor anymore. And Martin and I walang balita. We didn't know if he was dead or alive. Until I saw him in the airport nung bumaba na sumalubong siya. That was the condition that we were in. I'd like to also greet the Tingu Party List Representative June Isidre, all my fellow workers in government, the members of the diplomatic corps, who must have a sterling mention for all the help and assistance that your countries came to Tacloban with, came to Samar with, came to all, even all the way to Ormoc, all the way to Cebu, where I felt like you were Leyteños yourselves, that you were Filipinos yourselves, the compassion that you showed and the generosity that you showed and the energy that you put into the rescue work for our people, and subsequently the rehabilitation that you helped with after the rescue work. And for that, we here are not only Tacloban, but all of the places, all of the areas in which Yolanda wreaked havoc. We all thank you very much. Also, of particular mention would have to be the NGOs that came, not only from the UN, but from the different NGOs who just arrived here without us calling, who just arrived and offered to help with their particular offers of help. One NGO would offer fuel. Another NGO would offer shelter. Another NGO would offer cash for work. Another would bring reconstruction materials. All of these out of the generosity of your own heart. Once again, many people owe their lives to you. And for that, we cannot thank you enough. And all of us from Leyte, and all my fellow workers in government, good afternoon. And it is sometimes asked when we do have a commemoration of this kind. They say, why do we commemorate Yolanda? still, after 9 years. The people, those whose families had a loss from their families of a loved one, have learned to live with that grief. And although we continue to feel sad, life has gone on for them. So why continue? Why bring it up? I come here because I must commemorate those uncounted dead that up to now we do not know how many that number is. We must come to these commemorations so that we will remember those who we were told not to remember. If you remember, during the count of the casualties, the count was stopped. And we knew that there were still thousands out there. And for those thousands, those countless thousands, we come here, we commemorate. Because if we no longer commemorate, their memory dies. And it is only up to us to keep that memory alive. Because as I said, in a way, we were told to forget about them. And we will not forget about them. And we cannot forget about them. And I know you do not forget about them. That is why we continue to commemorate Yolanda, and we continue to grieve our dead, because we not only grieve the dead that are here, but we also grieve for those who we do not even know how many they are, who they are, and where they are. And for that, the tragedy of Yolanda continues. And furthermore, I think it is important that we come to these commemorations because it is also a demonstration, a manifestation of the strength and the courage of Filipinos. To remind ourselves that Filipinos are brave, that Filipinos are kind, and that Filipinos will conquer all, especially if it is for their community, for their families, and for the land that they love. And now to see Tacloban